Yu-Gi-Oh! Dragonmaid Nation! We have some crazy news going on over here. So a few days ago, Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization released this article which gives us a translation of one of the stories from the latest edition of the valuable book EX. A huge thank you to Neo Arcadia for translating this. For those of you unfamiliar with the valuable book EX, it's a series of info books which show you concept artwork of different cards and archetypes, but more importantly, the lore behind the archetypes. It's how we got stuff like the branded lore and the sinful spoils lore. And as you can see here, to my greatest surprise, we have gotten some Dragonmaid lore. I would always talk about this with my friends. I would be like, when are we getting Dragonmaid lore? And they'd just be like, Seb, there's an entire anime about Dragonmaids. The lore's already there, dude. But hey, looks like I got my wish, and we have some lore on the best deck in the game. Now, I'm not gonna read the article out word for word, because that's just a bit boring. I will link it in the description if you want to read it for yourself, though. Alright, let's do this! We scroll down a bit, and we come face to face with the GOATs. The absolute greatest archetype Yu-Gi-Oh! Has ever made, the Dragonmaids. And of course, since they are maids, the lore does say that they do take care of a master. Now, before this article came out, I had a theory that the master of the Dragonmaids was the fusion monster Philia Regis, since Regis means queen, and she is also a dragon lady, so it does fit the theme. But it's safe to say this official lore has debunked my headcanon, because if Philia Regis really was the master of the Dragonmaids, then they would directly name her and show us her card art in classic valuable book form. But instead, we just get an anonymous The Master. So we can assume that the Dragonmaid's master is probably just an ordinary human, albeit one with a very high luck stat. We scroll down a bit more, and we have Lady's Dragonmaid. One of two new Dragonmaid support cards, which Japan got last year, and us in the Western world are probably going to be seen in the middle of June. Lady's Dragonmaid is the maid that has the highly renowned job of taking personal care of the master, which ties into the overall theme of the higher level maids being more important in the hierarchy and just generally being stronger. It says that Lady's Dragonmaid has a flawless, ladylike demeanor, it's in the name, and that she also breaks character occasionally to play pranks on the other maids, which I do like because I love silly characters. It also says that her most prized possession is the chatelaine that the master gave her. Now, I don't speak baguette, but I have Google, and it turns out the chatelaine is just a very fancy way of saying belt clasp, which she is indeed wearing right here in the picture. And an interesting detail, if you zoom in enough, you can just about make out that the insignia on the belt buckle, belt clasp, whatever, is the same insignia that's printed on the new support cards, which I do very much enjoy. It gets even better when you read all the lore on Lady's Dragonmaid, because it says that the insignia here is the family crest of the master. Just a neat bit of world building over there. But I'm saving that. We also got a secret image to do with Lady's Dragonmaid, but we're gonna leave that to the end of the video because I like to save the best till last. The valuable book also gave us a bit on House Dragonmaid, but this chunk of lore seems to be focused around Lady's Dragonmaid because it exclusively talks about House from Lady's perspective, saying that although House is praised as the strongest Dragonmaid, Lady's power level rivals or possibly even surpasses that of House. And this rivalry is very well represented in the game, with House having a 3000 attack stat and Ladies having a 3000 defense stat, meaning that if these two maids ever did clash on the battlefield, it would be a stalemate. Unless we factor into account House's 3500 attack dragon form Dragonmaid Shio, but yeah, they are pretty equal. I will say though, anybody who's tested out the new support will agree that in terms of overall usefulness, Ladies is the strongest maid. Like, that fusion during the standby phase is absolutely brutal. I also find it pretty funny that it's like, in order to carry out the important role of serving by the master's side, it is crucial for the lady's maid to have a strong power level. Like, damn, what's going on in this guy's life? Is he a soldier? Is he under attack? Like, what's happening to him that he needs so much protection at all times? Actually, to be fair, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX did give us a glimpse of how a dual spirit world looks like, and they're not exactly the safest places, so you know what, it checks out. And we also get a section about Chamber for 2 reasons. The first is that as the highest level main deck maid, she is highest up in the maid's hierarchy right after House and Ladies. And secondly, for those of you who don't know already, the second Dragonmaid support card we're getting is Chamber's Dragon Form. It is finally here, and it is real! I mean, this was actually another point of contention between me and my friends. They were always like, when are we getting Chamber's Dragon Form? They have to give us Chamber's Dragon Form. And I would be like, guys, this clearly isn't happening. Like, Chamber's effect is clearly designed to make her transform into every other maid's Dragon Form. She doesn't have one of her own because it's a design choice. And let me tell you, I have never been more happy in my life to be proven wrong. But yeah, more on Chamber and her Dragon Form. We find out that Chamber cleans the house using tools made from her own feathers, which honestly blew my mind when I read it, because now that I think about it, the feathers on her brush and the feathers on her wings do look very similar. It kinda ties back to Miss Kobayashi's Dragonmaid, with THRU's clothes being her own scales. But of course, THRU has a very different method of cleaning, let's say. But do you know what really blew my mind about this whole Chamber section? We get an actual lore reason as to why her Dragon Form didn't come in the initial wave, and why Chamber has the effect to become any Dragon Form she wants. And the reason is, she does not like the look of her actual Dragon Form. Which makes me a bit sad because, let's be real here, it's a cool Dragon Form. You should be proud of how you look like Chamber. And this goes to all my followers. Take pride in yourself, because you are all beautiful. This translation also gives us a pretty good prediction for what this Dragon Form's name in the TCG will be like. For those of you unfamiliar with Dragonmaid naming conventions, the Dragon Forms of every Dragonmaid in the OCG are given a German name to do with their element. So for instance, the fire attribute Kitchen Dragonmaid has a dragon form called Dragonmaid Flamme in the OCG, with Flamme of course meaning flame. But in the TCG, it's a bit different. The dragon forms are given names that are jumbled up versions of the human form's names. So over here in England, Kitchen Dragonmaid's dragon form name became Dragonmaid Tinkek. So far, in the OCG, Chamber Dragonmaid's dragon form is called Dragonmaid Stern, which means star. And as you can see here, there are stars in the background of this card art. And it does say her original form is like a star shining in the night sky of the mansion. So yeah, bit of a starlight theme going on here. And we haven't gotten any actual confirmation on what the name will be in the TCG yet, but Seremba is very solid sounding. If this was the actual name, I wouldn't be complaining. Okay, enough dilly-dallying. It's secret image time. With the secret image in question being some concept art of the lady's Dragonmaid. We have a full body shot of her, we have the belt clasp, we have her with the headdress, we have her without the headdress, and we have her pranking the other maids. But most importantly, take a look at the top right corner. Take a look at that dragon form. Let's just open this in a new tab so we get a closer look. This is groundbreaking. Like, this genuinely makes me so hyped for future Dragonmaid support. It is a fun thing to notice though, that when Chamber released without a dragon form, everyone was like 24/7, where's the form? Where's the form? But now that Ladies is releasing without like a dragon form accompanying her, nobody actually mentioned it. Like, even me. It never crossed my mind. I guess it's because she was a fusion monster, not a main deck monster, that's why. But holy moly, here it is. And before any naysayers start saying that it's not her form and I'm just being delusional, similarly to how people say that Misawa's fire dragon is just that one dark flare dragon or whatever the fusion monster's called that looks like it kinda, we know that this is for sure Lady's dragon form being teased. And that's because, well, it is on her art sheet, and also if we look closely at this, it doesn't look like any other dragon form we've seen so far. It does stand on two legs, which like all the high-ranking maids do, so it's got to be one of them. It's got two horns here, just like her, in the same position. Giant mitts, which no other Dragonmaid dragon form has so far. And a tail which is identical to her actual tail. So yeah, here we have it. A possible new fusion monster. Like, I can see this one interacting with Lady's Dragonmaid in a similar way to how Dragonmaid Shio interacts with, like, House Dragonmaid. Unlike the main deck Dragonmaids, where you start off like normal summoning the human form, and then it can turn into the dragon form, we're gonna start off by fusion summoning the dragon form, and then it will activate an effect where the cost will be to return it to the extra deck and bring out the human Lady's Dragonmaid. Like, if this does happen, I am very happy that we're gonna get a new boss monster, but I am also very concerned because my extra deck is crapped. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna, like, take out to replace for her, but I'll have to think of something eventually. We see a cloud theme going on here to fit her calm and serene nature, and in fact, I do speak Japanese, and if we zoom in on the text besides her dragon form, it does say Unkai o Oyogu Dragon, which means a dragon swimming in a sea of clouds. Very poetic, very exciting. The Japanese name of Dragonmaid Shio was Dragonmaid Strahl, with Strahl being a ray of light. So I think this one is probably going to have a cloud-themed name in the OCG, since this one and Shio do share the light element. So yeah, very exciting stuff for the future of Dragonmaids. I really hope this will be made into an actual card, and it's not just like some unused concept art. Please, Konami, you know what to do. Release the fusion, make it goated, Dragonmaid Tier 0 next year.